Hello. You are listening to the Carroll Connection with your host, Jared Carroll.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Carroll Connection. I'm your host, Jared Carroll, here to bring you guys another great episode. I did want to take a chance to shout out last week's episode 237, the Scotland trip recap, where I was joined by my fiance and we recapped our Scotland 2026 trip. And in that episode, obviously, we recapped it and we talked about our favorite things, traveling, the value of traveling, why I always recommend people to do it, why I do those episodes. And it's kind of a little personal episode. So if you want to see a different side of me or the podcast, check that episode out at thecarrollconnection.simplecast.com. Also available Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the major listening platforms. If you like to watch your podcast, go on YouTube, search the Carroll Connection or at Jared M. Carroll, and it'll pop right up. If you want to be a guest or return as a guest, hit me up on Instagram at Jared M. Carroll or at the Carroll Connection. And plugging the 5 pillars to create a meaningful life. It's only available on Amazon. And if you like the book and you really want to submit a review, it helps me in the algorithm. So please do that. So that brings me to today's episode 238, bringing in my guest, Emily.
Hey.
How are you? You doing great?
Yes.
I'm glad we got to do this podcast. We've had to move it around a little bit with just travel, some snow back then, and like now here we are and we're ready to do this. And I'm excited about this. So just let the people know who you are and what you're doing currently.
You got it. I am Emily LeJeune. I currently am doing content creation, influencing, affiliate marketing, network marketing, retail, all of the things.
There's so much to talk about. I love having content creators coming on the podcast because you get it. Like there's just so much to content creation, and there's not like one shoe fits all for the type of content that we make, and like social media and like the comparison and like starting to do it. Like there's so much to talk about, and we'll get into that as we build this. Like I was telling you off podcast how I kind of start the podcast to talk about family dynamic, and then for any new listeners, I always kind of give like this little like cliche that I always kind of say, and that being is like why I do this. So I always reference like building a house and talking about like the foundation of a house. And when I think about family dynamic and talking about kind of building your life story, I think it's important to start there so people can kind of get a picture or a view into like your earlier days. And for better or for worse, our families are that foundation, and I think everyone's family dynamic is different. So I think it's good to hit on that at least a little bit. So with that being said, with whatever you're comfortable with, I'll let you dive into what your family dynamic was like.
Oh my goodness! So I was born and raised, still actually live in Pawtucket. My parents were, I should say, my dad and my uncle were best friends, which is how my mom fell in love with my dad. My dad fell in love with my mom. So they, my gosh, they had me. We were in Central Falls for 2 years, the first 2 years of my life. We got our first dog and moved to Pawtucket. I grew up on a one-way street, which is like super random, but my parents were very, um, I don't think protective is the right word to use, but they had concerns. I was their first kid, you know? So they and all of the other adults on the street that had kids, I guess, petitioned to turn our street into a one-way street. So I had this really cool childhood, these memories that I have of my neighborhood, of just like us playing kickball all the time, riding bikes, like playing tag, running between everybody's yards, like playing telephone across the street, going to the corner store to get ice cream cones. Um, you know, just I had a really great like neighborhood growing up. Um my my gosh. My dad was an alcoholic. Um high functioning, just like normal guy. My mom also, I guess we could call it social drinking. But the alcohol was like very like central in my life. Um, I guess I would say like started, no, I can't even go into that. We're not even in high school yet. We're just talking about my life. Um, they had a great relationship. Everybody came over, like my family, friends all came over on Friday nights. Everybody was drinking. Everybody was like, order pizza or order Chinese food, watch X Files, like, kids go to bed, whatever. So I had like a really close knit family growing up. I had a really great neighborhood growing up. Um, yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I'll build off that because I
Yeah.
actually really resonate with that. Because like growing up, my like how do I like describe my street? We had a little cul-de-sac, but like it was basically like looked like a track. So like three
Yeah.
times around was like a mile, and then
Mhm.
there's like a little cul-de-sac off to the side, and my house is like the end of it, and then we had my only neighbors that had kids my age on the other side, and then they moved away when their parents separated, and like that was like the end of the world, and it sucked because I was like getting towards like middle school, and like luckily I started getting like permission to take my bike to different parts of town. I lived in like
Yeah.
the middle of Seekonk, and it's either everyone was in north side of Seekonk or everyone was in the south side of Seekonk, and it was like awful. But like growing up there though, like was the coolest thing, and having them to grow up with, because like the whole neighborhood was like our playground, like
Mhm.
building forts. And like I remember we built this like we took like this like a it's like a little like wheelbarrow tractor kind of thing. I don't even know how to describe it. Like it's got the four wheels, and it was like a milk crate almost. I don't even know how to describe it completely. And it was like pretty big. And then we like built like wood on top of it, and then like used the thing as like a steering wheel, and then put chairs on it. And then I remember pushing it around the neighborhood, just like being ridiculous. And like
Yeah.
and or
We
like times we'd play like wiffle ball in the
Yep.
backyard, and just like having just a pure childhood.
Mhm.
Like, and it's obviously it feels completely different than what a lot of kids have today when you
Yeah.
introduce social media and technology. Like I remember getting like phones like later in middle school
Me
just to
too.
like talk to my parents, and like secretly making like a Facebook or AIM and like doing that stuff.
MySpace.
Yeah. And it's like that was like later though, because like
Yeah.
but the phone we still were able to use it to like make videos. We would just because
Yep.
we looked up to like early YouTubers, and like we just make. I remember having
CKY.
like
Jackass.
gorilla. We had like a gorilla suit and a Peter Griffin mask, and we just like tackle each other and be ridiculous, and
Mhm.
like just doing nonsensical stuff, just being kids. And like
Mhm.
hearing you kind of talk about that really resonate with me, because I feel like that doesn't fully exist anymore. Like
Mhm.
the safety of like the neighborhood, like the
Mhm.
connectedness of the parents and the whole neighborhood, and like everybody knows each other.
Uh-huh.
Like, and it obviously wasn't the same as it was like even back in like the 80s and 70s, but like that still familiarity with like everyone around you.
Yeah.
Like you knew who the neighbors were, you knew who lived at everyone, like every single
Mhm.
house, and you were welcomed too.
Mhm.
Like you don't nowadays like
Yeah.
you don't really say hi and bye to neighbors like you did back then. And like
Mhm.
unless you're a really social person, like people aren't doing that. Like it's very like people are like down or like
Yeah.
looking up or
Or
looking
staring at
straight
their
past
phone.
you. And
Yeah.
it's like we've lost a bit of that peace in society ever since social media has really kind of pushed. And like hearing stuff like that, I'm glad that you experienced
Oh
that
my
as well. It's
gosh.
like like somewhat of a normal childhood to
Yeah.
like play outside and
Yeah.
be kids, and you just don't see that.
No, I think about that too, like how, like even just like the sound of like the ice cream man, like coming down, like how lucky I am to have had like that type of experience, like the ice cream man coming down the street, or like knowing like even my neighbor's best friend, or like uh, their last names, like I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the same. And
No.
like I mean, I remember just even like my like youth football field like that we'd practice on was like right next to my house. And I remember just like see the ice cream truck coming down, and always getting like a frozen lemonade after practice. Like everyone's mouth's all red 'cause they're having
Hmm.
like
Fun
watermelon
dip.
or strawberry, and it's like or like the SpongeBob ice creams. Like it's it's stuff that like it makes me sad that like I feel like it doesn't fully exist in the same way. And like
Yeah.
maybe there is maybe some good reasons to it, but I feel like this is a lot of bad too that
Hmm.
it doesn't exist anymore. But when you talk about that, that's what that reminded me of. Kind of building on this though, I want to start diving into a little bit of like getting to more of, like the actual childhood, like hobbies, sports.
Hmm.
What kind of things did you do as a kid to kind of like socialize and make friends?
I was thinking about that today actually. So school was really like my friends, my neighborhood kids and my school friends. I don't have like a lot of memories of what I was doing in like elementary school other than like um the classes that I was in. I read a lot as a kid. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, both my mom's parents and my dad's parents. My parents working class, like always at work, coming home, having dinner, going to bed. Like that's what we did. So I would go to my grandparents' house. My grandfather taught me how to read. My grandmother essentially taught me math, playing cards all the time, like Go Fish, Scat. Like we were playing cards all the time. But my friend group really was like the kids at school were one, the neighborhood kids, and I had my cousins. Um, and like we were all together, but they were a lot older than me. I really only had like two or three cousins that I spent a lot of time with because the kids, like the older kids, were older kids. They were off doing their own thing. Um, I played soccer for like, I don't know, maybe 2 seasons. I ended up getting braces, and my mom, if she's watching this, she's gonna be like, "No, that's not true." But what I remember is that I was getting braces and like it was too much of a risk because at that time, I mean, braces were like a newish thing. Like you didn't want to damage your teeth, and um, apparently I wasn't like super interested in soccer. I was more interested in like socializing. So that's the other piece of it. It's like I just wanted to like kick around a ball and hang out with my friends, you know? Um, what else? What did I loved, this is nerdy, sorry. I love to collect rocks. Totally led into my adulthood of like crystals and nature and like woods. We spend a lot of time camping as a family too. So my parents bought a property before me up in Vermont, like Northeast Kingdom. So weekends, school vacations, as often as possible. And when I say camping, it is a plot of land. Like we slept in a tent. My grandfather was a milkman. My dad's dad was a milkman, and there was a milk truck that was left up there. We turned that into our kitchen. So like we, just had like random odds and ends, pots and pans, like built a little propane kitchen stove. Had canopies as like where we would all eat under. It started, I shouldn't say started, actually I was probably late to the party because I was the baby, but um their friends and everybody would come, their kids would come, we would bring up our dogs, and I would collect rocks and like find like big mountain rocks in the ground. And I was the one that woke up in the morning and made the campfire and whittled sticks and just like sat there and like did my little thing and read my books. And yeah.
That's sweet though. Like
Yeah.
I'm envious of that,
Yeah.
honestly, because like that type of childhood is so rewarding, and like they're teaching
Mhm.
you so many valuable lessons by allowing you to just be and
Yep.
just to be outside
Yep.
in nature, especially in Vermont. Like, oh, I'm like that. I'm
There's
jealous.
nothing there.
I'm
Yeah.
jealous of that because I
Yeah.
love the stillness, the nothingness. Like
Hmm.
that's like one of my favorite things. Like I'm a big hiker. I like
Yeah.
going on hikes, especially during the fall. Just like it's cooler, the season.
There's
Like I
nothing
love it,
better.
and like I like the lack of like internet connection.
Mhm.
Like I like not having access to my phone except when I'm driving. But like
That's so
that's kind of painful.
stressful.
I mean, usually it's just
My gosh.
one lane.
MapQuest. Like,
Yeah, it's I'm gonna open up a map in my little like yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But just being out there,
yeah.
like that's like I'm so jealous of that, especially as a kid. Like I don't think I really got in touch with like more of like my nature side until I was like older and had the freedom to kind of explore it for myself. So like that piece sounds like super dope. Do they still have the property like to this day or
No, so they sold that when I was like 17.
I'd be heartbroken?
So my yeah, my dad and his childhood best friend each had their own property. And so from like I don't know, I might have been like 10 or something, 11. I can't really remember when my dad's friend had his property or if like it was a new property. We were up there all the time, somewhere all the time. Um he bought an old sugar shack, old sugar farm. Um Toot Hill Farm, if you're interested, look it up. Um, it's like 99 acres on the side of a mountain, just a little house, but just with like trees everywhere. We would like make trails and everything. Anyway, my dad and his friends had Columbus Day weekend. That was like the man's weekend. Like you had to be 18 years old and you had to be a dude. You could go up on Columbus Day weekend. So like all the guys in the family were like itching to turn 18 so that they could go up and like be part of this like big man club, you know? Because think about it, like they didn't have cell phones. So like we didn't see the pictures on social media. We didn't see them on stories. We didn't, there wasn't a Facebook album made of all these photos. Like there were, Kodak disposable cameras that came home with questionable images on them. Like, just like fires and, just like if I probably shouldn't talk too much about that. But yeah, so one of the guys who was really close to my dad, who would go up on those weekend trips, he ended up buying the property for my dad and my mom. So he still to this day is a huge part of my life, and like we still have access to going up to that property. But it's definitely like that's my like sanctuary. Like that's my like it's hard for me to go up there at this point in my life, like the last few years. Um because of how much it brings up for me, like my childhood, the nostalgia, like all the memories and everything. But it is still in existence. We do still have access. We can still go there. We just haven't in, I'd say, like 3 or 4 years now. Yeah. We'll go. We could
Yeah, yeah.
go. Let's
It's
go.
there's just something about being up north.
Mhm.
Like I don't know how to
You
describe it to
can't.
people. Like it's because it's different. And like when I was in Scotland a few weeks ago, like that looks so different. And it's like
Mhm.
the mountains that we have here. There's just something about them.
Yeah.
Like it, and like even the way like the trails are built up north too. Like it's just you're just going up.
Yeah.
Like it's not like zigzagging on. Like,
Nope.
it's different hiking here. And like in terms of elevation, it might not be the same as it is out west, but like
Right.
the elevation gain and how fast you do it, like it's typical kind of northeastern kind of vibe. Like we're just going up.
Hmm.
Like we're not gonna like
Hmm.
take her. We're going up this thing. And like I love the embodiment of like kind of what all like the New England states kind of add to it, and just like hearing that you kind of had that as growing up, and just to experience that, and like even have the nostalgia for it. And I can imagine chasing that a little bit too every time you're up north of just like
Yep.
wow, like
Yep. If we are like 90 minutes or less away from that property, we're going to that property. Like I don't we have to go.
I fight myself like every other week of like not trying to buy a property up in like New Hampshire or something like that. It's
It's
like
so inexpensive.
yeah, it's
I
the
mean, it's gotten more expensive
yeah,
obviously, but
it's
like
compared to like this area, it's
yep.
night and day.
Yep.
It's like the
The
constant.
challenge there with that though too is like if you're going to build something up there, it is so hard to get the materials that you need up there. I mean, the skilled labor that is up there is also great. It's hard to come by, but like they know what they're doing. Like they can build anything at any time of year. Um but it is hard, like you want to just buy a piece of property. You can get a piece of property for like maybe 40 grand, and then you're like, okay, well, like now what do I do? Now
Yeah,
you either have to build it yourself or you have to find somebody who isn't booked out 2 years to build it for you.
yeah, it's
So
this that's the huge problem right now
yep.
is shortage of builders, shortage of houses available, shortage of houses that are not like shacks
Falling apart,
basically. It's
yes.
like I mean that's a whole nother conversation. We
Yeah.
go down a rabbit hole that I've been struggling with the last like couple years of just like
Yep.
I'm trying to live my life, and it's like that's the step I want to take.
Yep.
That's the step.
That's coming.
And it's like it's yeah, there's a mentality to it. It's like it's gonna happen. I'm not
Hmm.
worried about it, but it's like damn, like come on, like just like break my way for like just like a little bit, like just a little bit, like just give me a little bit of room because it's crazy. It's like not to go on a complete tangent with this, but it's like I feel like I've done like most of the things right the way that we were like kind of raised to, of like go to school, get the education, like I've paid off debts, like I've saved money, I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to do, and it's still not enough these days. And like that's like That's the problem. I mean, I'm not gonna say a whole different. I can go on like
Yeah.
2 different
No, you're
like
good.
hours of
Yeah.
podcast just crushing this.
Let's do it.
Like
All
it'll be a
nighter,
whole
let's
thing.
go.
I'm not gonna derail it. I'll bring us back. So kind of steering this a little
Yeah.
bit too, though, and we're gonna look towards more like high school now and like
Oh my
more senior
gosh.
year and like
Mm.
and if this is the time frame you were kind of referring to
Yeah.
earlier, you could bring that in as well. But um, lead me through that and towards like senior year graduation and like
My
you can
God.
kind of navigate this. I'm gonna allow you freedom to do and say what you want.
Ooh, let's spiral everywhere, but not spiral in like, the spirally way, but ADHD brain. I can ping pong back and forth real quick.
I'll bring you back if I need
All
to.
right. So, senior year was probably my favorite year. I had an incredible group of friends in high school. So I grew up in Pawtucket. Back to give you some lore. Um, 7th and 8th grade were really challenging for me. So I mentioned earlier, like I loved to read. In kindergarten, I had a 5th grade reading level. Like I was reading at a really accelerated pace. Math was incredible. In 5th grade or 6th grade, I got to go on Wall Street and explore the New York Stock Exchange. Like just like learn about all of these different things. I was pulled out of class for more advanced classes. By 6th grade, I was in 7th and 8th grade math and English classes. So when I was in public school. So when I went into 7th and 8th grade, I was in like the advanced programs, divisions or whatever. I think they were called divisions. Um and 7th grade was where I really started to question authority. I didn't believe in the status quo. I felt like the some of the teachers were um I don't want to say it like this, but I felt like I knew more than they did. Still something I'm a little I struggle with sometimes. Um, that's how I was in 7th grade, right? It's like I know what you're trying to teach me, and that's not the way that I'm gonna learn. I think that as an adult, like playing back 7th and 8th grade, like that's where like my ADHD like really came into play. Like I always thought I was more of a hands-on kid. I think my parents always thought I was more of a hands-on kid, but when I wasn't being challenged in school, I was like losing it. So if you think like 4th, 5th, 6th grade, I was doing 7th and 8th grade classes. Now I'm in 7th grade. I've already learned this shit. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Sorry. I already learned all this stuff. Like I already know this. Like give me something else. So by 8th grade, I would walk into my music class and I would get sent to the principal's office like immediately. I didn't have to do anything. It was like I walked in, the teacher would be like, "Get out of here." Like, "Okay, it's music class. What are you talking? Like, I just want to sit here and watch the newsies, you know? Like what are we learning about?" Mozart, like, what? Beethoven? Okay. Um Art was one of my favorite classes. Had a great time there, never got in trouble in that class. Science, math, like loved them, ate them up. Give me all the numbers. But then 8th grade, I got uh I failed 8th grade math, algebra 2, algebra 1 or algebra 2, with a 69. So
The teacher
I
must have not liked you.
that's exactly what happened. I was in trouble with that teacher quite often. And either that, or if I'm being honest, I was a kid, so maybe I just like decided, screw that. I don't want to hand in my homework. Who knows what that one point was, right? Like I don't know. No judgment here. But I spent the summer in summer school, and I flew through. Flew through summer school, also met a ton of friends in summer school because that's where like all of the other schools in the district or schools in the city were like coming together. Everybody was like these people aren't in my class. These people don't go to my school. I don't know these people, so I got to like connect. Um, I also became a camp counselor during the summers, so like I had a lot of things always going on, always working, always like just I loved it. High school, flash forward. So 8th grade, I decide I want to go to Davies. I wanted to go to St. Ray's, but I couldn't get teacher recommendations because, I don't know. Um, I didn't want to go to Tolman, and I, for no reason really, other than like I had had summer school and I wanted to experience other people and other things, kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Um, I just wanted something different. I wasn't being challenged. I needed to try something different. And I know what it's like to work. I've been working since I was 14 as a camp counselor, doing all these other different odd end jobs. So why not go to a career and technical high school? Like, it just made sense. So, yeah, some of my friends from middle school ended up on my school bus. We became like great friends in our freshman year. And when you start in Davies, or at that time when you started in Davies, you got to go as what they call as like a rotation. So for like 10 days, I think it was, you went through like culinary, or in your freshman year, culinary, and then graphic arts, and then machine shop, and then auto, carpentry, all the different shops. And you got to pick which one you wanted at the second part of the year. And I decided I wanted to go in for electronic engineering. I loved the idea of schematics and like picking things apart and like putting them back together, making them more efficient, making them like optimal, seeing how much money we could save, whatever. And um, I was introduced to customer service as well. So I got a customer service like certificate in my, I want to say, sophomore or junior year. I got certified in a few other things. So I felt really like accomplished in my high school career. Senior year, incredible. Our whole class, this is where um, you did 1 week of curriculum, 1 week of shop. So like, all your normal classes 1 week, and then the next week it was almost like you were working 40 hours a week, but you were in your shop. So I decided I was going to join the Air Force. I took my ASVABs. Scored insanely high. I think it was like 87. I don't know. I don't know why those numbers are popping out to me, or 90s or something. I don't remember. Um, I remember the library though. That's so wild. This memory's coming back to me. Um, yeah, took the ASVAB, and they were like, "Well, you're going into the Air Force." And I was like, "I don't need why?" They're like, "Because that's what you do when you get scores like that." And I was like, "Okay, sure. Like, what jobs am I gonna have? I don't know." Like, I never really had. Wow. Okay, this is coming out too. I never really had like an idea of what I wanted to be when I grew up. I just loved doing everything. I just loved trying all of the things. Helping everybody was like my thing. I want to help you figure out how to do your thing. I want to help you figure out how to fix this, or like let me help you do this, or can I help you, whatever. Um so I enlisted in the Air Force in a delayed entry program in my junior year. I wasn't going to college. I was just going to jump in right after my senior year. And then my senior year, I sprained both of my ankles at Emerald Square Mall.
Dead mall.
Running to my boyfriend's car, who is my partner still to this day. Running to his car, hurt both my ankles. And that year was also the year that my parents decided that they were getting a divorce. So it was like everything that I had planned for my life and everything that I knew as like permanence was all of a sudden like not gonna happen. Like, what am I gonna do? I don't have a backup plan. I didn't pay attention during like how to apply for college because I was going to the Air Force. Like, what am I gonna do? Oh, I know how to work. So senior year, awesome. I pretty much worked in my senior year. I got out of high school, and I graduated high school. I don't know exactly when I started working the jobs. I want to say it was when I was like 18. I don't remember honestly. I feel like it was when I was 18 because my parents had said that if I decided to go to college within 2 years of graduating, that they would like pay for it. I was like, okay, like I guess I'll go to community college, but I don't know what I want to do. So I'm gonna work too because I need to like get my feet wet in a career if they're not gonna pay for my college. Like I need to be able to pay for school. Like what do I do? And I started working retail. It's funny. I applied as a seasonal position. I had this like baby blue teal colored pen because you hand wrote out your applications back then. Had baby blue pen, and the manager that ended up hiring me. Shout out to you, Amanda, if you're watching. I don't even know what she's up to these days. Um, I walked back in one day and I was like, I just want to check in the status of my application. She's like, you're the girl with the baby blue pen. And I was like, yes, I am. She's like, yeah, like I would love to have you, whatever. So I started working seasonal. And then after seasonal, I just like continued to climb the ladder. So I went from just jumping out of high school in electronic engineering to working part time in retail, like helping girls feel confident in their skin, like with fashion, with denim and t-shirts. Like, do you remember? I don't know if you know what Delia's or Alloy is.
No,
No.
no.
So like Hot Topic.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So Delia's was like a catalog in the 90s that girls would get. I mean, if you, I guess, requested it. I didn't just get one if you were a girl. Um, this like catalog of like kind of like alt punk, like grunge kind of clothing. So like the big Lee pipe
Okay,
jeans and
yeah.
like the little cropped like butterfly t-shirts and like the, hair, so whatever. So they ended up opening up a store and that's where I worked. So like it was nice for me as somebody who was like alt grunge, like to be up in the woods whittling sticks and collecting rocks to like have this space where I could just like be myself and like help other girls be themselves. You don't have to be me. I want to help you be you. And I climbed that ladder. I from there moved into retail with another company. And haven't stopped working since.
I want to steer this
Yeah.
towards, how do I say it? Talking about kind of the transition from working, like getting into like the 9 to 5 lifestyle and
Okay.
like how you got there.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're touching everything.
Yeah.
You're working a bunch of different things,
Yeah.
and I think that's excellent because I think a lot of people don't do that
Mhm.
either. And like the fear, especially after like high school too, of like not knowing what to do. Like
Yeah.
I also was looking at the military and had some medical stuff that prevented me from following through with the
Yep.
Navy. And I think like the universe every day that I didn't go down that path.
Mhm.
Like I think I would have had a successful career doing
Mhm.
that, but I wouldn't be me if I did that.
Yep.
And
You'd be a different version of you.
yeah, and
Mhm.
then maybe some other parallel universe, I did do that, and I'm
Exactly.
still living that, and like some sergeant or something, whatever. I don't even remember. I just remember taking the ASVAB and doing all the stuff and
Mhm.
MEPS and just
Oh my gosh, MEPS.
the whole thing. Like I just
Did you
remember all
you
the
went to MEPS?
yeah, the like
Same.
the whole thing. Like I just very depressing. That was a different time, and like
Mhm.
coming back from that, I felt this like similar way of like I didn't prepare for college. I didn't care. I was like bragging to everyone, "How you guys gonna get college debt?" and like how mine's gonna be paid for. Like I
Yep.
don't like I did all that, and when it didn't work out, I was kind of just like, well, fuck. Like what do I do now? And like
Who am I?
I had to work
Mhm.
immediately because like there's no other choice. Like you just
Mhm.
start working, and then eventually I went to UMass Dartmouth and I was gonna do criminal justice because that's the kind of path I was going for the Navy, and I was like if it didn't work there, why would I do that now? And like it just I didn't want to continue with that path. And I was always good at math, so like accounting finance just made sense to me. So like, and it's just one of those things. It's just
Yeah.
practical. Like
Yep.
even if you pivot in life, like you could always take that
Mhm.
skill set and apply it to whatever you do, even if you own your own business. Like that's
Yep.
important too. And that was the reason I leaned into accounting. Was like I remember my 101 class, the professor was like, "It's the language of business," and I'm
Mhm.
like, "Well, I want to speak that language." And
Yep.
like, as soon as I got that, it's like it's carried me through, and like I don't regret ever doing it. It's one of those things like I don't love it, but I don't hate it either.
Yeah,
It's
you're good
just
at it
yeah,
and you
it's
like
just
being good at what you do.
yeah,
Mhm.
and like I'm very habit oriented. Like I like
Mhm.
routine. I like the way that the accounting cycle works.
Mhm.
It's you know what you're doing at the beginning of the month. You know what you're doing at the end of the month. If you're good at your job, the middle is pretty chill, and you can figure out the rest from
Yep.
there. And it's like that always just kind of worked for me. But looking at kind of your path,
Mhm.
how do you end up going towards that 9 to 5 kind of like routine and then pivoting to content creation? And obviously, you can dive into this however you want to with
Yeah.
whatever you want to share. I'm not going to like
Okay. Yeah.
push you because obviously we talked a little bit off air about
Yeah.
stuff like this, but I think it'd be really helpful for people
Yeah.
to kind of see that transition.
Okay. So my first jobs, uh, retail,
Mhm.
right? So I moved up in retail in two different companies, and I got to a point in retail where I didn't feel safe anymore. I had an experience that I was just like, I'm done. Like I can't do this. And I was like, what do I want to do? I really love working with kids. I was a camp counselor. I helped, young girls with, all the different things that young girls go through at my in my retail job at Delia's. I feel like maybe like early childhood could be like a good thing for me. I knew at that age that I didn't want to have kids. I child free by choice. Like I love them. I love kids. I had been a nanny at one point too. I just knew that like I needed to impact other people's kids. Um so I jumped into being working at a daycare and whoa. That was so different. Uh I was making like $7.40 an hour with like 13 kids, like babies. Like I was like I can't do this. This is wild.
It's
I
kind of
like
crazy
these
how low they pay for something like that when like it's
yeah,
literal people. Like you think you'd pay more to like help raise
yeah,
literal people, but what do
yeah.
I know? I don't know nothing.
uh, Like what? That's again a
Yeah.
whole nother tangent. Like school teachers. Whew. But yeah, I was like, I mean, I didn't have any education, like I or like formal education, higher education. I went to community college, but I was in work study, so I decided to skip class and work instead of going to like it. I loved working. I loved using my hands. I worked in the library at one point, so like I didn't. I could just pick up a macroeconomics book on the shelf and just learn. I didn't have to go to a class to learn about it. Like I could ask questions of the other people that were coming in. I was learning just like all these different things all the time working at a library in the college. Anyway, um so I decided I'm going to go early childhood. And then my friend Ashley, she's like so I got a job at the bank and um they'll give me $300 if you apply and get the job and stay there for 6 months. So if you apply, I'll split the $300 with you. And I was like, I mean, I'm making $7.40 an hour right now. Like my grandmother was in finance for her whole like almost her whole life. I feel like numbers are my thing. Like I could do this. Okay, 300 bucks, like $150 for 6 months. Sure. What's the worst that could happen? Oh my gosh. So I um jumped into a 9 to 5. It was uh what was it? It was like a not an overnight shift, but it was like the late night shift so I could get a shift differential for pay because it was again a minimum wage job working in a call center. Um and I loved it. I loved answering the phone and talking to people and helping them understand their finances and like figuring out this charge or like ordering them a new debit card. Like, did you know that you can get different designs on your debit card? Like, do you want to look at these with me? Like, it had such a good, I loved helping people. Constantly getting good like surveys and like feedback from people. Like, all the things. So 6 months into that job, I get pulled off the phones to teach my peers like how I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, I don't know. I just do what I do. Like, what? Um, and so we had this like training class that we put together. And then I got a call one day from a recruiter who was like, "Hey, I've been listening to your calls and you have a great level of empathy. Like, I think that's one of the reasons why you do so well in your calls. Um, we're creating this department where uh, you work with investment accounts. Is that something that you would be interested in? And I was like, well, what the hell does empathy have to do with investing? Like, what are you talking about, lady? Like, clearly you're just trying to sell me on something. Like, I can see through the lines. So uh, she was like, here's the base pay and here's the bonus. And I was like, sign me up. Let's go. So I took that job. I was a year into my role at the bank, and I took this new job with this crazy paycheck, and I was like, I made it. Like, ma, like what? Like little old nerdy girl is like about to help people with their investments. What? So come to find out, this job is actually um helping people understand the financial impact of losing a loved one. It's the easiest way to say it. So essentially, you call when someone has passed away in your life, whether it's your neighbor or a client, maybe who might not have a family, your parent, your spouse, your child, like all these different people. Call the bank to notify of a passing, a death, and you have to review all the accounts while you're on the phone with these people, navigating this like insane grief, asking them how else you can help, providing resources. We became case managers essentially, this department, for managing this deceased client's financial affairs, but helping their family members understand how those things would impact their lives or not impact their lives. Like, are you a beneficiary? Are you not a beneficiary? Do you have to go to court? Do you have to file different documentation? Is it a trust? Is it all of these different things? Um, and I had to get my licenses. Now, if you remember, I love to read, but I reading comprehension is like not my strong suit. I can read. Even watching movies and like listening to music, I can't always remember like the name of the character or the actor that played them, but I remember the scene, I remember the music, I remember like what happened, but I can't tell you what character it was that did that, you know? Um Same thing with studying. Like why I didn't enjoy school after a certain point, why I dropped out of college or community college. I had to get my 7 at my 66 for this role. So I was learning a new job, but I was also getting studying for my 7, and then I failed my 7, and they were like, "Well, if you don't have your 7, you can't do this job." And I was like, "Well, like please give me another shot. Like I will stay." I ended up getting vertigo because I was studying so hard, like going from like book to computer to index cards. Like I had never studied like this before, right? Like I was an engineer essentially. Like I was building, I was soldering, I was taking things apart and putting them back together again with my hands. I wasn't digesting 60 years of information, and learning how to apply that. So I ended up getting vertigo. I was literally horizontal for like 6 weeks, something like that, 3 or 6 weeks, I forget. Um, Came back and they were like, well, we have to give you another shot. So they gave me another shot. I passed. And then I had to study for my 66. So I studied for my 66. I failed that on the first attempt. I'm like, all right, we see the we see the pattern here. You guys know that I got this, right? Like just give me one more shot, I promise. So I got that. And then the minute that I got that 66, I ended up in like the advanced, like the premier segmentation, like working with people who have over a certain level of assets, and more complex types of investments and account types and multi-generational things. Um, and then I started getting involved in technology and like being the person that like was like on special projects for the team. So I created spreadsheets and tools for us to manage, or for me to manage my own caseload while I was also learning new technology on how to make our jobs easier. And so I got connected within like that group of leaders, I guess you could call them, like a different space, the financial space. I mean, huge corporations, like you have teams of people everywhere.
Everyone's a manager.
True, true, of some sort. That's always so funny when they're like, "What'd you do?" I was, "Oh, I'm a portfolio manager." Like, what does that
Or
even
everyone's a
mean? I'm
VP
like,
or
yeah,
an
yeah,
officer
yeah.
or whatever. It's
SVP, SVP. Um, yeah. So I uh got noticed slash like made a name for myself in challenging the status quo, in like saying like this isn't right. We can't do this. This is costing this amount of money because this many people are on the phone doing this amount of like turnaround times are horrible. Like what are we doing? So I ended up in creating a sheet for or creating being a part of a team that was creating the curriculum for peer coaching. So I became like a performance coach to help mid-tier associates become top-tier associates. And then I moved in. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like you guys, like just you got this. Like yeah, I have a hard time teaching you drive, teaching you how to have a conversation with somebody. Like you have it or you don't. And that feels really good to say right now. I, I I don't know how to tell you. I know that sometimes you don't want to talk to a certain person, and that's okay. I don't either. But also like you got to have the drive to do what you're doing, and if you don't have the drive, you got to do something else. Because all you're doing is taking away from somebody else who has a drive to do what it is that you're doing, or you're wasting time or resources, or like just do something else. Take a chance, you know? So I was like, I'm going to move into an individual contributor role. I want to be in sales. Like, I love talking to people. I love helping people who want to help themselves. That is what I want to do. So I moved into another role where I help people understand their retirement accounts and literally just bring their money into the bank, into their investment accounts. Teaching them how to invest on their own, not teaching them what to invest in, but like how to use the tools that are on the website and where to find the resources and how to Google. Like press F5 or press what is it F6 on your keyboard so that your web bar lights up so you know where to type. Like just like that's like a really nuanced thing, but yeah, just like teaching people how to set up automatic transfers and automate dividends, and making sure that all of their addresses were the same across all of their accounts, and then realizing they're not. So they're doing this, I'm like with them on the phone while they're doing this. Let me take note of who this person is in these accounts, and I'm going to send it to the tech team. So then I start building a relationship with the tech team, and then the tech team comes down and they're like, what is it that you got going on over here, this spreadsheet that you've created? And it just like went from there. I moved into a data and analytics role. How it was a customer segmentation role. So essentially any product, whether it was a stock, a mutual fund, a bond, a ETF, to a product that the bank had, like a card or a checking account or savings account, investment account, IRA, whatever, to associate, right? To uh, the team lead, to the region, to what state you're in, like just all of this data. I just made stories with it and provided those things to executives based on what they were asking for, of course, and like how to manage their business. Um, and then I was like, I'm bored. Like, I can only update this spreadsheet so many more times. Like, I don't want to do this on December 31st again. You know what I mean? Like those end of the year spreadsheets where you're like, you gotta redo all the things. Or like come up with new ways to tell the same story or whatever. Which I do love, but like it just I wasn't being challenged anymore. So my boss, who was amazing, still talk to her to this day. Actually, her birthday's coming up. Um, she was like, why don't you apply? You've always wanted to do like design. Why don't you apply for like a design role? What's design? Like, I have no design experience. Like, I don't know anybody in design. She's like, well, what about like digital design? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? So I took a role in November of 2019 for a self-service product consultant, essentially. So any of those experiences that I had been helping people in the sales role with, how to transfer money, how to reinvest your dividends, how to like a glossary, like how to understand whatever this term is on the website, um, updating your addresses, ordering debit cards, whatever it was, anything that you can do yourself on the website was in my portfolio. And I was like, you know what? I really want to design an experience to provide the resources for people who have lost a loved one. Because if I lose a loved one, the last thing I want to do is sit on hold that phone call for 45 minutes waiting to talk to somebody who has no fucking idea what I'm going through. I don't want to do it. The drive that was missing from those conversations and those teammates, like I don't know that I could handle that if I was grieving the loss of a family member, my partner. Like what? I want to create resources that help people understand what a stock is, understand that if there is not a beneficiary listed on your account, you likely have to go to probate. You like certain states require that. Like I want people to know these things. I want them to be able to search them themselves. And what if we had this tool where I could provide you the death certificate of someone and you could tell me based on the account types that they have with that firm what documents I'm going to need or what path I need to take or what uh, government offices I might need to call or other things to consider. I'm onto something. So I create this portfolio. Um, and then COVID happens and everybody wanted to be a self-directed investor. Everybody wanted to be online figuring out how to make more money. And that meant that my portfolio was getting a lot of attention and I wasn't doing anything fast enough. My team couldn't do anything fast enough. And there was a lot of, you said everybody's a manager. There's a lot of people in that mix. You need to have the sign off of 7 different lines of business people. You need legal, you need brand, you need like all these different teams. You got to be on 5 calls at the same time and 3 monitors set up and all the things. So, yes, I had 3 monitors in my home office and my personal laptop. I bought an L-shaped desk so that I could have my personal laptop and then my 3 monitors for my work. It was insane. So I COVID happened, my gym shut down. I was using uh fitness as a way to support my mental health. I was losing my mind and my gym shut down uh temporarily. I was going to group classes at 5 a.m. every day. Um and I loved it. And I woke up one morning and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do life. Like I can't imagine like hurting myself or like taking that wasn't like where that went, but it was just like this like weight of like I don't want this. What the fuck is my life? And I called my sister and my sister was like, "You know what you need? You need a community. You need to get back to the gym. You need to work out." She's like, "I just started doing these home workouts and like you should try it." And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, I am not doing a home workout. Are you kidding me? Like, what? Are you going to send me like a VHS or something? Like, no. And I was like, she's like, just trust me. I'm like, okay, fine. I trust you. She's like, you love boxing. You got to try this workout. I'm like, all right. I did that sample workout and I called her and I was like, sign me up, dude. Like, I don't know what is in this stuff. I don't know who this guy is, but I want more of it. Like I needed that. She's like, great, because it comes with like a virtual community too. So I'll get you plugged into the group. It's like a Facebook group or whatever. Because everybody's gyms are shut down right now. So we're all trying to come together and just be supportive of each other. We share sweaty selfies, we like share recipes, like so that we don't have to spend all of our time grocery shopping and stuff. Like everybody's just sharing all these things. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Um, So then like a month in, she's like, so did you know that you can like make money doing this? I was like, what? What do you mean? Tell me more. She's like, yeah, so you can actually, just like what I did when you signed up with me, like the link that you used, I got compensated for. You could do the same thing. Like you have your gym friends, you have like your friends at home, like everybody's all trapped right now. Like, why don't you host your own Zoom workouts, like your own Zoom room, and you guys can get on at whatever time. You could do something during the day, you could do a meditation at night, whatever it is you want to do. Use the platform, like create your business, do run, go, do. And I was like, okay. So I literally the girl who does not want to be in photos, like am always behind the camera, like don't my whole like teenage years, like do not post me up on any social media ever. My former social media Instagram is like pictures of food and my dog, or like traffic. And I posted a picture of myself on the internet, created a new account, and I posted a picture of myself like on like my bicycle, like here we go, like let's do it, let's go. And literally the rest is history. Like I became I like felt like I like, found my voice to like share my story without anybody interrupting the thought or judging me. Yeah, people on the internet can judge me, that's fine, but like you're not sitting across from me. So I don't know what you're saying and I don't really care. I'm going to post what's happening, what's helping me, how I'm able to help other people so that maybe someday somebody sees something in something and we can work together and like we can change our lives. And I haven't stopped.
I'm so glad that it led exactly to there because I didn't want to interrupt and like we were getting towards like the back end. I was like, I don't want to like cut her off because I know we're like the
Yeah,
build
you
up
saw.
and
Yeah,
it was for me. I know I don't like jumping on people's stories when I'm on the
yeah,
podcast and like
yeah.
I'm trying to manage time and produce it,
I'm
but like
sorry.
no, it's like but that was perfect because like I
Yeah.
think people need to hear the progression of your life
Uh-huh.
story though, like how you got and worked through all these different jobs and how they led and like stacked on top of each other and like to go all the way back. It's like you didn't take the college path. Like
Nope.
you kind of carved out your own lane and
Yep.
you used who you are as a person as the driver to create and help people.
Mm-hmm.
And that opened opportunities for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if people leaned into that skill more, and it's like kind of what you said, you can't really teach that. Like
No.
it's either you have it or you don't. And like I think you could tap into it,
Yeah.
but no one's gonna help motivate you to do that. Like you might get motivated by things or people,
Mm-hmm.
but the ultimate driver of change is yourself. Like no one else is gonna like just going back to even like high school, do your homework or
Yep.
take the test
Yep.
for you or in
Yep.
college, go to the
You have to want it.
lectures. Like you have to do it yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
like that goes in every aspect of life. Like no one's gonna hold your hand and do it for you.
Yep.
It just is what it is. Like it sucks. Like I wish everyone had like
Yeah.
someone there to guide you and teach you how to do
Yeah.
everything, but that's just not the reality of
Yeah.
life that we live in. So like seeing like your progression and like how you've overcome so many different obstacles in your life to become successful and content create and get in front of a camera and literally just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's the best way to do social media and like something that I really enjoy about your social media platform is like it's everything. It's you. It's you.
Thank you.
I think cuz that's something that I think a lot of people struggle
Dude,
with
it's so
and
hard.
it's hard cuz like everyone's like, "Oh, you got to niche down, you got to do
Oh,
this and that." And like I think we're finally pivoting from that as like a social media
I hope
culture and
so.
allowing people just to just create stuff, just
Yep.
post it on the internet.
Yep.
Like who cares?
Yep.
Like most of these platforms are trash anyways. They block your views, they block your likes, they shadow ban you on certain stuff. Like you use the wrong hashtag or the wrong sound or say the wrong thing,
Yep.
or the algorithm or the AI picks up the
Yep.
wrong thing and you get blocked. Like just keep posting, post what you want. Who cares? Like
You also have, like, a coach once said to me, like, say it with your chest. Like, just fucking say it. You are gonna say it how you say it. Don't worry about, like, okay, yeah, you had great success saying it a certain way, and I might learn something from that, but I shouldn't do it how you did it. Do it how I do it. Maybe we're doing the same thing, but like say it with your chest. Just fucking say it. Get it out. And guess what? You can delete it later. You can archive it. You can edit it. Just put the camera up and say it. put the microphone up and say it. Just put the pen to paper and just fucking say it how you're going to say it.
Yeah, and I think the thing that I've learned too when I've done this podcast and I've connected with so many great people is like we're all trying to help people in just different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's the unifying, I guess, niche of the podcast is
Mm-hmm.
like it's helping others find their way.
Mm-hmm.
And like the way that I've chosen to do that is just display other people doing it their way. And like
Yes.
it's not rocket science. I'm not
Yep.
like forcing people, oh, you have to do a podcast like me, buy 3 cameras and lights and a
Yep.
backdrop, and like you don't have to do it like this.
Right.
This is just the way I want to do it.
Yep.
Like to me, when I think of a podcast, I think of people in a room in real life,
Yep.
not on a Zoom call, not on this. Like
Yeah.
we're getting together in real life and we're
Yeah.
doing this. And like cuz to me there's value in like virtual podcasts because like you can connect with people in places of the world
Yeah.
that you never reach,
Yep.
but there's energy in a room that you can't replicate in real life. And like as much as I hate being in an office, I know that's real.
Yeah.
Like when they say, "Oh, we have to come back to an office," I'm like,
Yeah. Okay.
I can see some of that. Not
Yeah.
every day. I don't. I
Yeah.
don't think that's necessary, but like enough to connect with people around you because that does impact your work. Like
Mm-hmm.
people saying, "Oh, I don't need to do that." Like or in any form of life, like you need to socialize. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's just how we are. You could
Mm-hmm.
be introverted and not want as much socialization
Yeah.
as other people, which is fine. I'm like that. As funny as that I do a podcast and post myself on the internet, I don't like hanging out with a lot of people.
Exactly.
Like that's just the way that I
Yeah.
operate. But you have to be comfortable with yourself to learn that about yourself
Mm-hmm.
too and connect with people. Like
Mm-hmm.
my communication skills have been improved because I force myself on it used to be more of a weekly basis. Now it's like kind of like bi-weekly when I do podcasts, but like to sit behind a microphone and talk to
Mm-hmm.
someone typically I don't know
Yep.
for 2 hours.
Yep.
And that forces you to get better at it. And
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're hosting and like I have to not only produce all this, but
Mm-hmm.
listen to what you're saying and add to it and add the question and like I have to learn this stuff
Mm-hmm.
to and then post about it and then be confident that it's a good product for
Yeah.
people. And
And then it made sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the beginning
Yeah.
stuff wasn't.
Yeah.
Like
It's okay.
the guests were good. I probably lacked in a couple questions and I could have asked better things and been more insightful on certain like things that I was referencing, but like you learn, you just have to
Yeah.
start doing it. And I hate the whole just do it like kind of thing. It's like not Nike, but like there's truth in that
Yeah.
statement of just like if you're gonna create anything, whether it's a book, a podcast, a platform, like you kind of have to just go for it. And then you learn through the
Mm-hmm.
failures. And that's everything, whether it's your job, a relationship, like school, like
Yep.
you fail first and you learn
Uh-huh.
and then you build upon that. Like this studio that you see with all this, like this wasn't built the first day. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you scrolled all the way down on my Instagram on the Carroll Connection, you'll see a little dinner tray with my computer and a USB microphone on a box. Like
Yep.
that's what it was. That's how
Yep.
I started this in my parents' basement in my room. Like that's where it started. And now I have got 3 cameras. I have
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
lights. I have the setup, and
Yep.
like I've developed this like I call it like my script of how I interview people
Mm-hmm.
and like how I frame my conversations and like I learned through repetition. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
keep doing it for as long as I have, and that's why you keep creating in the way that you have is you found a way that works for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people struggle with creating that formula for themselves
Mm-hmm.
because it's not excuse me, it's not easy because everyone's comparing themselves on social media.
Yeah.
So how do you handle that piece of social media when like you first started of like comparing yourself to other people?
When I first started, it was extremely challenging because I was in the fitness space. I wasn't the most fit. I was I was the only person in my like close knit group that had brown hair. Like I the only one with tattoos. Like I felt different. And I was like, I don't know if I actually belong here. Like, is this for me? Like, are they judging me? Like it was really hard. Um, but doing it over and over and over again. Um, and the cool thing about social media is you get to develop your own algorithm. So when I found myself in that space of comparing myself to what I was consuming, right? That's really where you're comparing. You're not comparing when you're creating, you're comparing when you're consuming. And I had to like remind myself like I one have to create more than I consume. And two, what I'm consuming needs to be, I don't want to say it needs to be productive, but it needs to fill some gap. I don't want to hear about like the negativity. I don't want to see scare videos. I don't want to see like pranks and I mean, every once in a while, cool, but like I can look that stuff up. When I go on to consume social media, what do I want to see on my explore page? Motivation, um, recipes, workouts, outfit ideas, all these different positive things that dopamine hits, I guess, really, if think about what it like actually is. So I didn't really find myself comparing myself in that way. And the algorithm, where I was going with this, is it fed me people that I have now become friends with. Like best friends with people that I literally met through the internet. Like mid COVID, jumping on a plane to go hang out at somebody that I met on Instagram's house. Like, what? Who am I? But also like the best friendships. And I've found myself with those friendships. Now I'm like the web goes out to like who they're following. And I've been invited to groups and spaces where I have learned so much from some powerful women. Like mine, like to be sitting in the same room, like, do I belong here? Are you kidding me? Again, comparison, but also like inspired by that comparison, by that, like, I don't want what she has, but she's doing this and she's seeing this success. Like, where can I take inspiration from that for my own life? Like, she did this and this and this and this to get here and this to get here. What if I did this and that and I got there? Like, I guess that's to answer your question. Like, I have learned to use the comparison that I find myself in sometimes as inspiration.
No, that's brilliant. And like, I think maybe the word with the social media aspect is being intentional with it.
Yeah.
Like you
Yep.
have to, and it's so easy to do because like I used to make like sad boy TikToks during COVID when I was going through
Oh,
some stuff, and
yeah.
like I got a huge following. I had like 50, 60K on TikTok, and like it was like going crazy. And then I kind of got to a point with the help of like therapy and kind of just like reconciling with myself of like you're never gonna have like happy relationships if you're constantly making content about
Yep.
sad breakup stuff. It's just not gonna work.
Yep.
But the way that I was like creating that platform was like I would only like videos that were like my content because it was just generating ideas, giving me new sounds, giving me new concepts, like, and it was just intentional because like I could see it. I'm like, I might want to watch other
Yep.
videos, but I'm like, with this page, if I cultivate a certain way with my likes, it's gonna
Yep.
feed me certain videos, which are
Yep.
gonna help me create more videos. And like I was making like 7, 8 videos a day. Like
Yep.
I was like nonstop with it. And like it taught me like the power of social media, but
Mhm.
also like the type of content like I want to be known for too at
Yep.
the same time because that wasn't what I wanted to be known for. I
Yeah.
wanted to be known for more of like this style of stuff.
Yep.
And I know sometimes this style of stuff is harder to
Yeah.
push on social media. People don't aren't as receptive to like the positive stuff as the negative stuff.
Yeah.
People are going to consume the negative stuff
Dude.
because it makes them feel something. And
Yep.
like the positive stuff is only going to make certain people feel certain stuff.
Yep.
And like typically the people that you want to talk to don't need your motivation and your positivity because they're already feeling that way too. So it's like it's a weird
Ding.
space. Like so it's
You
like
got
you're kind of just talking out into a void almost,
it.
hoping to capture people in the middle and like trying to help guide them in a certain state in a certain space. And like I've accepted that. Like
Yeah.
I'm cool with that at the
Yeah.
same time because like I feel like I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And like as long as I feel like I'm doing that, like I don't care about the followers. I don't care about having
Right.
social media clout. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, sometimes I look at it, I'm like, this shit's all fucking fake anyways. Like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Like, am I a good person? Am I doing this platform or creating this platform
Yeah.
for people to have conversations about who they are and why they do that? And it helps people and it creates good connections.
Yeah.
Yeah. then
Yep.
I think I'm doing the right thing.
Yep.
And I lean into that space, and like I don't put pressure on myself for this platform to be anything other than what it is,
Yep.
because that's how I've been able to keep doing it. Because like
Yeah. You
some
enjoy it.
because sometimes when you lean into it too much, you could create that pressure where it becomes like a job again. And then it's like that's where for me, I don't want this to feel like a
Mhm.
job, because like I don't like jobs. I don't want to have to work.
Me, I'm
Like
like, let's
like,
go.
and if I have to make this my job, I don't want it to be my job. I just
Yep.
want to do it because I like doing it.
Yep.
And that's like a huge thing I feel like with a lot of people with content too, is like the balance of like having it be a career, but also enjoying it at the same
Yeah.
time, because like it does require a lot of work to do this
Yeah.
stuff. Like, it's like I mean, you could probably relate the editing and like the planning and when to post, how to post, what hashtags, what sounds, like
Mhm.
all these different things, what words and text to put, where to put it. Like, there's so many little niche things that you learn as you go,
Mhm.
but it is like a job. So like when you have to do all this stuff, it can drain that like initial fire. So like there has to be more reason than I want to be rich and famous when you
Mhm.
start this stuff, because that could be the like the original like push, but it
Mhm.
can't be the only reason why you
Right.
do this.
Right.
So I think that's like an important thing for a lot of people to like remember when they want to like launch these
Yeah.
careers on social media, because you can get lost in this stuff
Yeah, for
so
sure.
quick.
You have to know like what you said intentional. You have to know what it is, or you don't have to, but it's important to know how, like, if you are planning on starting on social media, you need to know, again, important to know how you want to, the platform you want to create. Like, do you want to monetize? How many different ways are there to monetize on social media? Do you want to just use it to talk? Do you want to help people in a certain way? I mean, again, I think everybody's trying to help somebody in some way. But like you mentioned, like, I post about everything. I I want to work with the brands. I want to get paid for my content. Not all of it. I also want to just show you my strawberries, like I also want to show you our fishing trip, and I want to talk about what's going on in the United States and different political issues that are going on. And I want to talk about the price of gas, and I want to talk about investments and finances and grief and what I'm going through. And the weird thing, well, not weird, but the most natural thing that happens as a female is like throughout the month, your topics might change. So, like, I might be feeling a really certain type of way at a certain time of the month, and I just run with it. Like, when I say it with your chest, like, just say it with your chest. Show up as who you are. Be a character if you want, but like be intentional, kind of going back to what you were saying. Like, how do you want to show up on social media? If you want to work with brands, you've got to show up a certain way. And I don't mean change who you are, but there's a certain style of content that you're going to have to create if you want to be taken seriously by a certain type of brand or a certain type of industry. There's a different way content that you can create. I'm like trying to use the right words. See, like, I don't want to steer anybody in the wrong direction, but like, if you want to get into affiliate marketing, show up as who you are. You post a link, you make money. Like, what? If you want to show up on TikTok and just like share your life, you get paid for views. What? Like, platforms pay you to just show up as who you are. Okay, sign me up. You want to work in network marketing, you want to build a team, you want to create multiple streams of income. Like, there's a lot of different types of content styles that you can create. Do you want to post on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube? Do you want to post on all of it? There are tools that will post your content across all of those platforms with the press of one button. Like, there's so many different tools. So you got to get yourself in the rooms with the types of creators, maybe not in the same industry, but the types of creators that you are inspired by. There's like 3 creators that I am super inspired by. One of them left their job at a really well-known tech company, and now she makes furniture and has like a partnership with a large like vehicle um with Ford. Like how else do you say it? Like there's people like there's mom creators, and I say mom creators with a grain of salt because that's a touchy subject for me. Anyway, mom creators who have these amazing platforms where they're sharing their homeschool books. They don't show their face on social media. They just have a just they have a product that they've created because of the experience that they've had with their kids at home that they now sell for pennies, not pennies, but like, a couple bucks. They're making millions. Right? Like there are so many different types of creators, and there are spaces out there that you can get involved in that have a community of different types of creators so you can learn from each other and help each other. And I'm not talking about like likes and shares and saves. I'm talking about like, hey, like I want to publish this type of content, or I just talked to my camera for 2 minutes. Can you take a look at this and tell me what I need to cut out? Or like maybe I need like a different hook or something at the beginning. Like, what am I missing? Or should I just post it? Like you become friends, coworkers essentially, with these people that are all doing the same thing and creating content across various platforms. So yeah, just be intentional with how you want to show up. And remember, it is okay to change. Like whenever you want, because it's not that serious.
Yeah, that's so perfect. And like I even forgot to mention off podcast the last question that I have. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna ask you, 'cause you just nailed it right there. Cause like we're at the end basically, and
Yeah.
like the last question I always ask for everyone is like, what would your advice be for someone who wants to pursue their passion?
Mm,
I mean,
yeah.
you just nailed that. Like I don't think I need to ask a repetitive question that's kind of stupid, but like I think like there's so many resources out there
Mhm.
to do whatever and be
Mhm.
whatever. And like I like kind of how you ended that too, is like it's okay to change and do stuff.
Dude.
Like there's so many times where I just take breaks of doing stuff. Like
Uh-huh.
there's sometimes I just don't want to do a podcast, or
Yeah.
sometimes I just take breaks. Like I don't put pressure on it, and that allows me
Yeah.
to get back into it and keep coming back
Yeah.
to this. And like you got to give yourself the space to know when it's enough. Like I've been doing this, like I said, 6 years. Like this is year 7. Like, yeah, it's tiring to like
Mhm.
do this. Like my weekends, like it's just like a big chunk of my weekend is usually this and editing, and like I have a fiance, we have a dog. Like
Yeah.
there's other obligations to life. Like I have a 9 to 5 job. Like this is, and like I don't get paid to do this. I do this just because it's the love of the game and like I
Mhm.
enjoy it. So like there's so many ways to like create content and like give yourself the space to figure it
Mhm.
out. And like you said, there is ways to monetize
Mhm.
and make it your job too. And like
Yep.
there's plenty of resources out there for people to find that. And I think people should explore that. Like
Yeah.
why not? It's a free for now free. You could use social media for free, and like you could post what you want and do what you want and make
Yeah.
money on it. Like
Yeah.
why not? It's a resume. Use it.
It's literally like if it's not literally the same thing as again what you just said is like my like career path too. Like every year I was changing a different career path, and how many different things and ways have I been able to monetize on social media is absolutely insane. Like I'm able to build digital products that help people navigate the financial impact of losing a loved one. I'm able to share my supplements and the links, and I'm able to just show up and just be me and get paid for it. Like, what? I don't have to. I enjoy it because I'm connecting with people like you. Like, I literally, we are connected because of a mutual friend from Instagram. Like, what? I
That's my
mean,
favorite part of doing this podcast. It's just like the network just keeps growing every time. Like it's, and that's how I get people. It's
yeah.
like I interview you, someone listens, they might follow. I
Hmm.
check their account, I'm like this could be a good guest. Reach out to them,
Yeah.
or like sometimes people's like you got sent to me and we
Yeah.
reached out, and I have a couple
Yeah.
people that have been sent to me, and like
Yeah.
it just naturally grows. Like and
Hmm.
it's every once in a while, I feel like I'm like tight on guests coming up. I'll
Yeah.
do like a dive in social media. I'll look up Rhode Island and just like scroll through on TikTok and Instagram and just
Yep.
find people that I think are interesting and
Yep.
want to talk to. And it's so easy to connect with people. And I think that, I mean, that's the point of the Carroll connection. It's
Yeah.
connecting with people and
I'm doing
creating a
it.
network.
I'm doing it.
But Emily, I appreciate you so much for coming on this
Seriously,
podcast. I
thanks.
think
Me too.
we hit on so many great stuff. And I think it's so cool to see like the progression of your life story. And obviously we like squeezed it in and probably it's like an hour and a half or close to. And I just really appreciate you diving in
Yeah.
all that stuff with me and just being open and honest. I think that's
Yeah.
the best way to have a podcast.
I agree, and it's been awesome. I appreciate the space for sure.
Of course. So if you want to look into this camera, plug where the people can find you.
You can find me at Emily in New England on Instagram, Emily in Rhode Island on TikTok. If you have questions, if you want to get connected to any of the networks that I mentioned, like I am an open book. 3 to 5 days on turnaround time for those DMs, though.
Perfect. For you guys, though, if you guys like the podcast, please rate, review, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your family, share with your grandma. Check it out, thecarrollconnection.simplecast.com. Also, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the major listening platforms. If you like to watch your podcast, go on YouTube, search The Carroll Connection or at Jared M. Carroll, and it should pop up for you. And if you want to be a guest or return as a guest, hit me up on Instagram at Jared M. Carroll or at The Carroll Connection. We'll set that up. And as always, plug in the 5 pillars of creating meaningful life. If you read the book and you like it, submit the review on Amazon. It goes a long way in the algorithm. So, till next time, guys, peace.